Hey guys, Paul here from Meldrum Performance Coaching. So, podcast today about a topic that a lot of people talk about. I don't think it's given the nuance that it deserves. So, this is about speed of implementation of learning. So, I got a good question about a seminar I did on the weekend, on Sunday, which was referring to what should I do next with this information? And I thought I could send a private answer. It is a good question, but I think it deserves a little bit more of a conversation. So, learning things is, by nature, a challenging experience for a number of different reasons. It threatens what we already know. We get exposed to stuff that we don't know, and that can lead to feelings of vulnerability, inadequacy, etc. It doesn't in all cases, but it can. So, there seems to be the challenge is always going to be, what do we do with information that we know? And there seems to be a overwhelming urge that's been talked about, not by the person who asked me this question, but in general, to implement the knowledge instantaneously. And I think that is a grievous error. Now, the reason for this is it takes a fair amount of time for our mental maps and to be updated for us to process the information and start integrating it with what we know. So this is my personal method for when I learn some new stuff that can potentially change how I do things. Once I learn it, the first thing I do is I sit with it for a bit. I want to think about, does the information I just learned add anything to what I am doing? Does it do anything currently different to what I am doing in a significant way? Is it what I've been doing potentially harmful? And is there anything in this that are downsides to the new information I've learned? So an example of this would be, say you do run a fitness facility and you have 3 or 4 trainers working underneath you. You go to a course, you learn some new biomechanics stuff, you learn some new techniques, etc. for doing some different exercises. What you need to do is think about, first thing is the technique that you've learned for the exercise applicable to all people? So you need to work out, how applicable is this? Are there any caveats to it? Is there any other nuances that I need to be aware of? Once you've then worked that out, you then need to look at, how am I going to communicate that with the group of people that I'm going to be working with this information? How am I going to build upon what they've already had without making them feel like they've been wrong the whole time? How can I involve them in that? So a lot of the time with information, when I learn new stuff, I digest it fully, as much as I can. I think about it, I study it a few more times, and then I try and apply it again and again. So one example for that in the fitness industry is information from the Postural Restoration Institute. The Postural Restoration Institute is becoming increasingly popular with their approaches to training. So looking at expansion, compression, dynamics of the rib cage, AIC, which is anterior nominate chain dysfunctions and asymmetries. Lots of really intellectually interesting and stimulating stuff, and a lot of stuff, when used, can totally change how you've been coaching different exercises. What I want to look at as a coach is, I want to make sure I understand the system fully before I start applying it with my clients, because if what I'm doing is already working pretty damn well, I don't want to disrupt everything and then change everything overnight. It's going to lose momentum. It can also lead to clients losing a little bit of trust. The next thing is, I don't want to fall prey to recency bias. I don't want to get some new information and then, because it's new, because it's fresh, because it's exciting, discount all the stuff I already know and all the stuff that's already working. I want to look at it. Does it complement it? Does it need to change it? How do I need to integrate it together? From there, what we do is then we implement one piece of that new information at a time. After carefully analyzing all the things that you can implement it, what's the one thing that's going to make a difference? I do it the exact same way as I teach my habit stacking approaches to my personal training clients. We tell our clients all the time that not to change their lifestyle overnight, not to try and add everything in that they can, not try to add in all the supplements, try and count all the macros, try and do all those different things. So from there, I want to do the same thing with information as well. Look at the information, look at how it fits in with what you already know, and then work it out, what's going to be the most important thing in the priority order, and then go from there. That's going to be the best way to integrate information that you learn in a regular basis that's only going to enhance what you do.